Recession fears seem to dampen the market mood. Oil prices suffered their biggest daily drop since March on growing fears of a global recession and lockdowns in China that could slash demand. Oil drops to 12-week low to below $100 as fears of global recession grows. Hello and welcome to VAR India News Hour. The threat of a recession in the Eurozone is a clearer risk now relative to before. The euro dropped by almost 1.8% against the dollar to $1.0236, its weakest level since December 2022. It was last down 1.48% against the dollar. Oil futures sank along with natural gas, gasoline, and equities, which often serve as a demand indicator for crude. If people are concerned there's going to be a slowdown and put their money in the safest place and cut back on unnecessary spending, it can become a self-fulfilling prophecy. Experts say some investors were betting that falling gas prices could give shoppers more money to spend, and if a recession does hit and takes a significant bite out of energy demand, more wild swings to the downside could be in store. Investment bank Goldman Sachs said the oil sell-off was driven by growing recession fears. The euro tumbled to a two-decade low as data showed business growth across the eurozone slowed further last month, with forward-looking indicators suggesting the region could slip into decline this quarter as the cost of living crisis keeps consumers wary. In South Korea, inflation hit a near 24-year high in June, adding to concerns about slowing economic growth and oil demand. A stronger US dollar makes oil more expensive for holders of other currencies, which can curb demand. In China, the world's biggest oil importer, the market worried that new COVID-19 lockdowns could cut demand. At the same time, China's crude oil imports from Russia, meanwhile, soared 55% from a year earlier to a record level in May. Russia displaced Saudi Arabia as the top supplier as refiners cashed in on discounted supplies amid sanctions on Moscow over its invasion of Ukraine. At the same time, President Vladimir Putin said that Russia was in the process of rerouting its trade and oil exports towards countries from the BRICS group, countries comprising Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, of emerging economies in the wake of Western sanctions over Ukraine. Russia is trying to forge closer ties with Asia, seeking to supplant the markets it lost in the row with the European Union and the United States. Going forward, Russia was discussing increasing the presence of Chinese cars on the Russian market as well as the opening of Indian supermarket chains. Now, let us look into today's headlines in VAR India. Indian Railways to launch second version of Vande Bharat trains in August. Union Railway Minister Ashwini Vaishnaw said the Indian Railways will launch an upgraded second version of the semi-high speed trains in August 2022. Vaishnaw said the Vande Bharat trains currently run at 160 km per hour and the second version will touch 180 km per hour and the third version of the train will travel at 220 km per hour. Of the proposed 400 trains, about 250 will be the second version of Vande Bharat trains and then the third version will be introduced. Google India to launch startup schools for 10,000 startups. Google India announced the opening of Startup School, which would mentor 10,000 companies in Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities across the nation. The Startup School will provide resources, products, and information to early-stage startup owners. The course material will include learning modules on topics like formulating a successful product strategy, exploring product user value, developing a roadmap and product requirements document, creating apps for the next billion users in markets like India, accelerating user acquisition, and many more. Voyager Digital files for bankruptcy. US crypto lender Voyager Digital had filed for bankruptcy, becoming another casualty of the dramatic fall in prices that has shaken the cryptocurrency sector. Voyager boomed in the COVID-19 pandemic, drawing depositors with high interest rates and easy access to loans rarely offered by traditional banks. Last week, Voyager said it had issued a notice of default to Singapore-based crypto hedge fund Three Arrows Capital for failing to make payments on a crypto loan totaling over $650 million. Cesar Cid de Rivera appointed as International VP of Sales Engineering in Commvault. Commvault has announced the appointment of Cesar Cid de Rivera as International Vice President of Sales Engineering, to continue to strengthen the company's go-to-market motion and support the critical work of the services teams. He will lead a high-performing pre-sales and technical team responsible for enablement and delivery of Commvault's industry-leading intelligent data management services to customers and partners. Sid De Rivera will be reporting directly to Jason Weber, VP of Global Services, closely supporting SVP and GM of Commvault International. Vivo India directors flees from the country amid ED's probe. Vivo India directors Zhengxin Oh and Zhang Ji left the country as the Enforcement Directorate intensified its inquiry into the money laundering case against the Chinese firm. The federal agency recently conducted searches at 40 locations in Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh and some southern states in connection with a case linked to Vivo Mobile Communications and some other Chinese firms with respect to violations of the Prevention of Money Laundering Act. Meanwhile, Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesman Zhao Lijian said that the Chinese side is closely following the developments on this matter. That's all for now. Please like, share, comment and subscribe to Bar India News Magazine. You can download the Bar India app from Google Play Store and Apple App Store for the latest news and updates. Stay tuned. Thank you.